It has been 6 months since Phil passed away, and I visited his grave with Bart. Since his death, my heart has been a jar of great emptiness. His shadow was deeply etched in my mind, and I still thought of him. I couldn't forget the times we spent together, the places we visited, and the meals we ate. Why couldn't I free myself from his memories, even though I should move forward with my life? Phil wouldn't want to see me stagnating. Despite knowing this, there were unexpected moments when I thought of him and tears overflowed. Wanting to look ahead but not knowing how, I lived a life filled with worry. However, on the way back from the grave visit, a slightly bulging envelope given to me by Bart cleared my mind. A letter from Mr. Phil. This is what he wanted to convey, and what he wanted to pass on. Suspicious, I took the letter from Bart and opened it at home. Inside, a USB emerged. The USB contained several letters and photographs. Upon checking the contents, it became clear that Phil had been involved in a difficult situation. Knowing this, I felt I had to face forward for his sake. My name is Betty White. I'm 35 years old. I work for a small regional company and live a calm life. Returning home from a workplace where the staff is kind, upon turning on the lights, there is no one to greet me as I am single. But that's not a problem. I have no intention of marrying anymore. In my heart, there is only one husband, him. Until 2 years ago, I had a husband named Phil by my side. However, he has left this world. He ended his own life. I met Phil during college, when I joined the club he was a part of. At first, we weren't very close. However, our relationship quickly grew closer after a drinking party. At that time, I was still underage and couldn't drink alcohol, so I watched the drunken seniors while sipping on a non-alcoholic beverage. After the party ended without incident, and we were about to go home, Phil and I realized we lived in the same direction. Are you heading back? Do you want to go together? Really? Are you sure? Yeah, I'm worried about a girl walking alone. Thank you. Despite having barely spoken before, Phil was considerate of me. His kindness was palpable, and for some reason, I felt embarrassed. The quiet of the night enveloped us, and only our footsteps could be heard. I felt a thrill from the ambience unique to this time of night, though it was also slightly awkward. There was no conversation. Since we hadn't really talked much before, it wasn't surprising that I felt awkward. Despite this, it was Phil who dispelled the discomfort. Sorry. Was it a bit noisy today? What? No. The drunk people were loud. I hope they didn't bother you. No, it's okay. Phil apologized while feeling embarrassed. I was just watching everyone having fun. I hope I can drink soon too. Really? Upon hearing my comment, Phil smiled warmly. From that simple remark, our conversation slowly began. We talked about our university life and shared our hobbies and favorite things. While it wasn't exactly lively, the interaction with Phil was pleasant. I hope to have such conversations with him again. That wish came true sooner than I expected. After walking home together that day, Phil started initiating conversations with me. We gradually began to walk home together more often, and that developed into a relationship where we enjoyed meals together, just the two of us. Half a year after that drinking party, we started going out. Though we were from different apartments, the time we spent together increased. Every day was filled with joy and happiness. Even after Phil started working, our bond did not change. After I started working, topics about the workplace and bosses increased, but our relationship continued just like in our university days. It was tough to blend into the workplace in the early stages of my career, and I often faced difficulties. However, I was able to overcome these challenges because of Phil's support. He was a wonderful person, and I was happy to be with him. I had always dreamed of marrying him, and it seemed he wished for the same future. 8 years after we started dating, Phil proposed to me. "I will definitely make you happy," he promised with a serious look. There was no reason to refuse. "I'm looking forward to that," I replied. And so, we got married and started a new life as partners. Our relationship did not change after marriage, and we were filled with happiness. While our new life was happy, adjusting to it also came with its struggles. Getting used to our new life together took some time, but during those times, my mother-in-law supported me. She had always been warm, and I heard that my late father-in-law was equally kind. Is there anything wrong, she would ask over the phone sometimes, and she would visit us as she lived nearby. She kindly taught me some cooking tips and everyday tricks, taking great care of me. We often enjoyed meals together. There was no specific day or time set, but it seemed she chose weekday nights when I came home from work. "I'll take care of everything, so just relax, Betty." "But I can't just leave everything to you. Don't worry about it. You must be tired from work." "Thank you." At first, I often felt guilty, but it seemed that my mother-in-law enjoyed spending time with us. Gradually, I became more natural around her without feeling the need to be overly considerate. Then, the tension I used to feel seemed to completely disappear. Phil is my only child. I really enjoy talking to someone of his generation. My mother-in-law treated me as if I were her own daughter. On holidays, we sometimes went shopping together or sat at home, enjoying our favorite teas and chatting. Since my own parents lived far away, I couldn't see them often, but I was very grateful for my mother-in-law's thoughtfulness. However, those peaceful days came to an abrupt end. The cause was my mother-in-law starting a cafe. I knew she had always wanted to open a cafe, so it wasn't a surprise. When Phil proposed quitting his job to help her, I was surprised, but I supported his decision. Until Phil's income stabilized, I decided to provide financial support. Perhaps due to a lack of competitors, my mother-in-law's cafe was more successful than anticipated. "It's busier than we thought. Mom seems happy." "That's wonderful. Do you have regular customers?" "A few." "That's good. I've had the cake a couple of times and it was delicious, so I can see why there are regulars." Phil blushed at my comment. The cafe continued to attract people non-stop, and it seemed they even received magazine interviews. The number of customers kept increasing. I'm happy to have so much support.